Aging is a natural process, but it doesn't necessarily mean losing vitality. Many people reach the age of 80 and feel firsthand how simple daily tasks, standing up from a chair, walking for a few minutes, or maintaining balance, become more challenging. However, there is a special group of people who, even at this age, can still perform these actions with ease. And this is not just coincidence. Science shows that these signs are evidence that the body is biologically younger than the calendar age suggests. It's as if the body were aging in reverse, preserving physical and cognitive abilities that most people have already lost. A clear example of this is the simple act of standing up from a chair without using your hands. For many, this might seem trivial, but in reality, it is one of the strongest indicators of independence and muscular health. This movement requires coordination between the muscles of the legs, hips, and torso, as well as balance and joint stability. This test, known as the sit-to-stand, is widely used in research because it objectively reflects the physical condition of older adults. Those who can perform this movement smoothly demonstrate preserved strength, active reflexes, and refined body control. Now think about the impact this has on everyday life. A person who can stand up from a chair without support finds it easier to get out of bed in the morning, go to the bathroom, or get dressed independently. In short, they maintain their autonomy. On the other hand, when this ability is lost, limitations arise that affect not only the body but also self-esteem. Depending on others for basic tasks often leads to frustration and even sadness. That's why this seemingly small gesture goes far beyond physical strength. It is a reflection of dignity and freedom in healthy aging. It's important to remember that most people, by the age of 80, already struggle with this movement. The loss of muscle mass, known as sarcopenia, is common with age, as are decreases in bone density and flexibility. All of these changes make mobility more difficult and turn the act of standing up into a challenge. However, those who maintain this ability are protecting not only their physical health but also their emotional and social independence. What is most inspiring is that this ability doesn't depend solely on genetics. It can be cultivated throughout life. Simple habits, like practicing activities that strengthen the legs, walking daily, or spending a few minutes on balance exercises, make an enormous difference over the years. Every effort you make today builds a stronger body for tomorrow. So, if you can still stand up from a chair without using your hands, celebrate it. It is a powerful sign that your body is resisting time in an admirable way. More than that, it proves that aging doesn't have to mean weakness or loss, but can instead represent resilience, vitality, and even inner youth. Another surprising sign of vitality in advanced age is the way you walk. It may seem simple, but your walking speed is one of the most reliable indicators of how your body is aging. Researchers around the world call this parameter walking speed, and in many studies, it is considered almost like a sixth vital sign. When you can walk at a normal or even brisk pace for several minutes without needing to stop to catch your breath, this reveals much more than physical endurance. It shows that your heart, lungs, muscles, and even your brain are working together in harmony. To sustain a firm step, the heart must pump blood efficiently, the lungs must supply enough oxygen, the muscles must respond with strength, and the brain must coordinate every movement. It is a biological symphony in action. Now imagine the opposite. A slow walk, interrupted by frequent pauses to breathe. This indicates that the body is struggling to sustain the rhythm and that vitality is diminishing. That's why studies show a direct relationship between walking speed and life expectancy. Older adults who maintain a faster walking speed tend to live longer, have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease, and preserve better brain health. The simple fact of being able to walk at a steady pace translates into more years of life and, above all, more quality in those years. But it's not just about longevity. Consistent walking also affects mood and mental clarity. Research on healthy aging shows that those who walk daily at a slightly faster pace have sharper minds, fewer symptoms of anxiety, and even a lower risk of depression. Walking, after all, is not just a physical exercise. It is a habit that stimulates blood circulation, activates the production of neurotransmitters linked to well-being, and strengthens the neural connections that support memory. And the best part is that this practice does not require expensive equipment or gyms. Anyone can include a few minutes of daily walking in their routine, and the benefits begin to show. Over the years, This simple discipline becomes one of the most powerful weapons against premature aging. The body thanks you, the brain stays active, and even your posture improves, radiating more energy and confidence. Therefore, if you can still walk at a steady pace today without losing your breath, recognize it as a valuable sign of health. It proves that your body is functioning in harmony and that your biological age may be much younger than your chronological one. More than extending life, walking with vitality extends your freedom to move, your autonomy to choose your own steps, and your dignity to live with energy. There is yet a third sign of vitality that surprises many people: the ability to balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds. At first glance, this may seem like a simple test, almost like a child's game, but in reality, it requires much more than muscle strength. Standing on one leg engages quick reflexes, fine motor coordination, joint stability, and above all, an efficient nervous system. Recent research has shown that people who cannot maintain balance on one leg for this amount of time have a higher risk of falls, fractures, and even shorter lifespans. This is because balance is deeply connected to brain health. Every time you remain stable, your reflexes are being tested, your vision assists, your inner ear regulates body position, and your brain processes all this information in fractions of a second to keep you upright. It is an invisible ability, but one that sustains your independence. When this ability is lost, the risks increase. A fall in advanced age is not just a minor accident. It can mean months of recovery, the loss of independence, and even the beginning of a cycle of frailty. That is why being able to stand on one leg is not just a physical trick. It is a marker of how body and mind are aging together in harmony. If you can still do this at 80, it is concrete proof that your body still holds reserves of youth. But it is important to remember, not being able to do it today does not mean you are doomed. The human body is highly adaptable, even in old age. Simple balance exercises, short walks, stretching, or activities that stimulate coordination can all improve this ability. With patience and consistency, part of what has been lost can be regained. The secret is not perfection, but continuous progress. And here is the truth. Aging does not mean stopping, it means adjusting the pace. Every step taken, every exercise practiced, every effort to remain active makes a difference. If you can still stand up from a chair without support, walk at a steady pace, and balance on one leg, celebrate these signs. They are not just physical gestures. They are symbols of independence, resilience, and strength. Even if the body carries 80 years of life, the mind and spirit can remain decades younger if you cultivate habits that preserve your energy. Healthy aging is not measured only in numbers, but in the ability to live with dignity, joy, and freedom. So value every achievement, no matter how small it may seem. And never forget, your body may age, but your inner strength can renew itself every day.